This fake HOA enforcer had been ramming his truck into my mailbox over and over like I would not notice the same dented bumper showing up every single morning. The last time he did it, he smirked as he drove off. That was the moment I decided the next mailbox he hit would hit back. Comment below which country you are watching from. My name is Jordan, and I moved into this neighborhood expecting quiet mornings and weekend grilling. That lasted until the HOA hired a man named Briggs. Briggs was not a real cop. He wore a vest labeled HOA cop and walked around in aviator sunglasses, acting like he ran the entire block. He wrote people up for ridiculous violations but seemed to have a particular interest in me. The first morning I woke up to find my mailbox on the ground, I thought a teenager had clipped it by accident. I replaced it. 2 days later, the same thing happened. Same angle, same tire marks, same early morning timing. By the fourth time, I set my alarm early and sat at my window with a coffee and watched Briggs drive by slow, then cut his wheel, clip my mailbox, and laugh as it snapped off the post. He did not even speed away. Just rolled off like destroying my property was part of his morning routine. I confronted him the next day. He stood there with his hands on his belt and told me maybe I should secure my mailbox better so it would not fall over. I told him it did not fall. He smirked and asked if I had proof. I went to the HOA office and told the president, Marka, what Briggs was doing. Marka told me flatly that Briggs would never do that and suggested I install a sturdier mailbox. I walked out of that office and drove straight to a metal fabrication shop. I bought a steel core thick enough to stop a small vehicle and drilled it deep into the ground with concrete. Then I built a perfectly normal-looking wooden mailbox shell around it. From the outside, it looked like any standard mailbox. On the inside, it was a wall of reinforced steel. I mounted 2 cameras, one hidden in a birdhouse facing the road, and one tucked behind a bush angled toward the driveway. Both motion-activated and recording in high definition. By midnight, everything was ready. Briggs came back on schedule. The sound of his truck engine woke me. I watched through the blinds as he crept past the house, slowed down, aimed at the mailbox, and hit it at full speed. The crunch was loud enough to feel inside my chest. His entire front end folded. The hood popped up. The airbag deployed. His headlights shattered. The truck stopped dead against a mailbox that had not moved an inch. Briggs stumbled out, clutching his arm and howling. I stepped outside in my robe with my coffee. I asked him if he was having a rough morning. He accused me of sabotaging the mailbox and rigging it to hurt him. I told him it was a perfectly legal mailbox and suggested he try driving on the road instead of into my yard. Neighbors poured out with their phones recording. Briggs told them I had attacked him and set him up. My next-door neighbor, Mr. Thomas, was already on the phone with 911. Briggs's eyes went wide, and he told everyone they could handle this internally. It was too late. Officers arrived and examined the scene. The demolished truck. The intact mailbox. Briggs in a vest that bore no official credentials, no badge, no certification. One officer watched the camera footage. Every single previous mailbox destruction. The lineup and aim before each impact. The final crash that folded his hood. When the footage finished, the officer turned to Briggs and asked if he had intentionally rammed the mailbox. Briggs said the video was doctored. The officer pointed out that his truck was sitting in my yard with a broken arm behind the wheel. Under pressure, Briggs pointed at Marka and said she had hired him and told him to keep me in line and destroy the mailbox whenever it looked too prominent, and that she had paid him cash with no paperwork and told him to make it look like accidents. Marka told him to shut up. The officers arrested her for conspiracy, property damage, and directing harassment. Briggs was taken to the hospital, cuffed to a stretcher, and transferred to jail once he was stable. The investigation confirmed everything. Marka had forged documents to give Briggs the appearance of authority, and had specifically targeted me for questioning HOA decisions. Briggs received 4 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, and lost his license. Marka received 2 years, was removed from the HOA board, and banned from holding any position of authority in the community. New leadership was voted in. The neighborhood apologized. Peace returned. I rebuilt the mailbox. Even stronger. Drop a like if this story hit different and tell me in the comments how many times. You would have replaced the mailbox before deciding enough was enough.